Our first guest on set with us, and like I always say, I love first-time guests on the set with me. And let's introduce to you Managing Director of GDC Financial Services Limited, Mr. Gerald Cruickshank. He has a long resume in front of me, a very illustrious career in insurance, 26 years at British American Insurance Company, where my dad actually worked all those years ago. So let's bring him on set with us. Sitaraman, good morning to you, Mr. Cruickshank.
Good morning, Ms. Ganesh.
How are you this morning?
Fine, thank you.
And welcome to the set. You are a first-time guest on, well, my show.
Yes,
so
I am.
welcome, and it's good to have you. Talking about Insurance Awareness Month, it's the first time that I've heard about Insurance Awareness Month. So what is it?
All right, but Insurance Awareness Month, we really brought it on behalf of, I'm also the past president of TIFA, which is the Trinidad and Tobago Life Insurance Association. And we felt that we wanted to join the global awareness program of bringing life insurance awareness to the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. So it's really the first time that the association has ventured into it, because we've seen that within Trinidad and Tobago, 1 in 10 families, if somebody should die, will have a devastating effect on their entire family, and it will be a lot of hardships. So you want to bring the awareness to bring out to people that insurance is not all that expensive. As a matter of fact, one of our CEOs on a different program mentioned that you can get life insurance for just about $5 a day, which is a bottle of water.
$5
But people are not very much aware. And in addition to life insurance, Ms. Ganesh, what we also look at is that there are a lot of critical illness that plague Trinidad and Tobago as well as the wider Caribbean, whereas the statistics tell us that 1 in 5 families suffer from cancer, heart disease, coronary artery disease, kidney disease. And when the breadwinner in the family dies or contracts one of these diseases, the medical practitioners have told us the only way they can save them life is if they have a lump sum of money to do a surgery immediately. Right. This takes away from the family, because a lot of times you realize people jump in this syndrome of buying barbecue tickets or karaoke tickets.
That's true.
Yeah, because they don't have the money set aside, or they wasn't even thinking about it, and this is an emergency that they need to save out right away.
So that brings us to our first question. Now, it's about life insurance.
Right.
Everyone has heard about life insurance, of course, but not many. Let's start the conversation. Like, why is life insurance so important?
Life insurance is very, very important. You purchase a vehicle, and it is compulsory that you must do insurance on your vehicle.
Yes.
Because if you don't do insurance and you get an accident, then it's a detriment to yourself. You have a lot of money to put out. But people don't realize that as a sole breadwinner or one of the sole breadwinners in a family, if you should come out of the picture today, if you should have died last night, I'm going to say it just as it is.
Yes.
If you should have died last night, what will happen to the standard of living you were upkeeping for your family?
All of a sudden, there's a huge gap.
There's a huge gap. What will happen with the goals and aspirations you had for your children's future education? What will happen in terms of the mortgage? I can tell you, the mortgage company is coming to foreclose. They're going to put your family out. They literally have to look for friends, family, your parents, uncles and aunties to try and help take care of the family.
Exactly.
And your responsibility as a breadwinner is to really take care of these things. And the only way you can really create that asset, other than saving over the years, is to literally do some life insurance. Right? And that is the only thing that can really protect you against those losses.
And well, this question is very interesting. Now, I'm going to ask you just a follow-up to the first question. Now, people, they have sometimes, they immediately grunt because, it's an extra piece of their income every month going towards life insurance. What do you say to people that's just worrying about, having an extra bill to pay at the end of the month?
Well, I would say to people like that, you're putting aside some money now for the devastation that's going to take place later on. You see, we are all born on this earth at a particular time. And we know on our birth certificate what is our birth date, but we never know when we'll die. Nobody knows the death date. And within that space of time, there are certain things that you have to do in life, all right? And especially if you have a family, there are certain things that you need to do, whether you're alive or not, to take care of your family, because that's your responsibility. You get married, you have a family, and you secure that responsibility. So in order to do it, that is why you need to have life insurance. So when people try to, as you said, put a grant behind it, I tend to remind them of the problems and the situations that take place in terms of if they are not here in the picture anymore. What about those goals you had of purchasing a home or to make sure and educate your children into university? What about those goals? Are you going to just let it disappear when you die and just let it just fall on the wayside? No, that's not the right way. A responsible person, a responsible parent is going to make sure and put aside that money every single month to take care of that.
Understood. What is the impact of life insurance on the economy? Trinidad and Tobago is becoming a very strange place.
Yes, it is.
So what's the impact of life insurance?
And it's so important that you ask that question, because life insurance not only pays off your mortgages, it not only brings in a lot of money into the system. When somebody dies and a beneficiary receives the proceeds, it helps that person to pay off the mortgage. If they didn't have a home, it helps them to purchase a property. It even helps them to buy a car. It puts people into an aspect of savings because they have to open an account to save in the bank, so it puts money into the banking system. In addition, it pays, as I said, I'm very strong on this fact, so I'll be saying it all the time. It helps pay for the children's future education. People believe that, okay, gate is around, but gate doesn't have to be around much longer. They're reducing the size of gate all the time. So that gate keeps getting smaller and smaller and smaller.
Now it's like half for some people.
Yes, and I suspect based on how things are going in the economy, it might even reduce more. So your responsibility, person's responsibility, especially parents, is to put aside money. Now life insurance secures that. It secures that money there for your children's future education. In addition, insurance companies, and I just want to mention, our in terms of TIFA, our member companies are the life insurance companies like Pan American Life, Sagicor Life, we have Tatil, we have Guardian Life of the Caribbean, we also have Maritime. They are all members of the Life Insurance Association. They are member companies. And these companies are the biggest purchasers of treasury bills, good, and bonds when government raise these bonds. So they put a lot of capital and infrastructure in place for the government to purchase those things. So they pump a lot of money into the economy.
Right. So purchasing life insurance, like even though you're doing it for yourself and your family, it has a bigger impact.
A wider
impact on Trinidad and Tobago.
Yes, it does.
That's interesting, because that's actually the first time I'm hearing that, and the words actually said out loud.
Yes, it is.
So, okay, so we're thinking about ourselves and our family, but we're actually helping Trinidad and Tobago. Very interesting. Yeah. All right. So maybe a lot of you are considering getting life insurance policies right now. So let's talk about insurance agents.
Right.
Right. So we know if we're thinking about getting insurance, we have to get in touch with an insurance agent. I know many opinions, several opinions, but really you are the authority in this world. So what is the role of a life insurance agent?
All right. The role of, in addition to this, let me just mention as well, I'm also an agency manager with Pan American Life. And with all the agency managers we have throughout the entire industry and all the other companies, we all look at one thing in terms of recruiting insurance agents. We want somebody who is able to speak to somebody who's literally can carry on a conversation, can show a caring nature in terms of talking to somebody about their family, because a life insurance agent's job is not an easy one. They literally have to face a lot of no's to try to convince somebody about doing what is right for themselves and their family. But we tell them, don't give up. Don't ever give up in that fight. Because whilst we are doing this Insurance Awareness Month now, it is something that insurance people have to do all the time. They have to sit with you. They have to literally talk to you about your goals and aspirations for yourself and your family. They have to come up with solutions. And all life insurance company agents do it. They come up with solutions. And when they come up with solutions, they ask you to buy insurance. And then they are there. They are supposed to be there all the time to assist and to service you as their client as the years go by. Because one of the things that I'm very proud of over the years is that when you sell somebody life insurance or insurance, that you're there to realize the goal 10, 15 years down the road with them, to help them with the children's education and everything, and you're there to present that check. I tell people, the greatest thing about it is that when somebody dies, not wishing it, you have the banks coming down because there are loans outstanding. Right. You have the mortgage company writing their letters as normal because they have to pay the bills. The attorney, for some reason, is still outstanding some money for some of the transaction they did. So he's there literally calling down, to make sure. But the only person that really shows up with a check to continue or even better the standard of living is a life insurance agent. That's the only person.
No, this is true.
Yeah.
This is very, very true. I'm hearing Mr. Cruickshank talking, and I know this to be absolutely 100% true. When that insurance agent, that life insurance agent, shows up with that check.
With that check.
You, all of a sudden, you know, a wave of relief comes over you. And you're so grateful to the people who took the time to take care of you, thinking ahead. What if I die?
Yeah.
And
that is the reason why it's important that our life insurance agent is properly trained. At Taifa, we do a lot of
training as well.
Training and development for agents to become in that sphere. So that when they sit with that client, remember you're convincing somebody that you literally have something very intangible to show them. Good? And by the stroke of a pen and they sign a signature, you're making them a promise that if they should die tomorrow or 10 years or 15 or 20 years down the road, that you will be there and your company will be there to provide this promise that was made to you. Good? And it happens because insurance has been around over 200 years. Good? It's nothing that is on the wayside. It's something being one of the oldest professions in the world is insurance.
True. So let's talk about insurance benefits.
All right.
So if you're paying for insurance, well, we're talking about 20 years down the road, say in case you die, your family will be taken care of. So that's one benefit. Can you, what are the different types of insurance benefits we can look forward to?
Insurance has many, many benefits. One of the benefits we just spoke about is death benefits. That is payable to beneficiaries. But in addition to that, insurance has benefits in terms of if you should, let's not talk about dying. Let's talk about some of the major critical illnesses that take place.
Yes.
All right. So you have somebody contracts cancer, they have a critical illness, a kidney disease. Insurance is the one that really takes care of that in terms of making sure you get the right and proper medical treatment as soon and as fast as possible, because that decision is what takes place according to the medical practitioners that helps with you being alive today or being dead one time. Because a lot of people don't have the money right away. Good. And even though there are group insurance plans that the companies would provide, which is very good, it is upon the client himself, the person, to make sure and take out their own insurance. So insurance pays for your medical bills once you have life insurance with us, once you have the critical illness policies. In addition, we talk about education. Good? Right. That's another benefit in terms of you putting aside money for later on for your children's future education. Good? Another main benefit that is very, very important in society now is what we call disability income or personal accident insurance. You go into work on a daily basis, but you are the breadwinner. So we're not talking about dying anymore. What we're talking about is if you twist your ankle, you got in an accident, for some reason a chair fell down and damaged your foot. You will be out of work for a week, 2 weeks, almost a month, some cases more than that. What would happen in terms of your income? Is your job going to promise to continue paying you for the next 6 months to a year? No, it's not. It's going to happen. So insurance, based on the personal accident, disability income insurance, is going to replace part of that income. Right. A big part of that income to help you to recover comfortably. To sit at home and know that the money is still coming in to help pay the bills. Right. So that when the income is run, is out of the job, that it's probably a 3-month period that your employers will pay you for. The insurance kicks in and automatically from the first month and start paying once your claims and everything has been sent in and processed on time.
So those are some of the major benefits.
Some of the major benefits
of insurance. And of course, those of you looking on, I know we have a large audience today because we're anticipating a lot of our conversations this morning, Friday, very popular show. And maybe you are considering a career in insurance. Yeah, many of you wonder, well, what can I actually do this? So how do you become a life insurance agent? What is the process if you're interested in that career?
All right. When I got into insurance many years ago, but it was about 28, 29 years ago, it's basically because of family and who I had in business as well. And they encouraged me that, listen, Gerald, this is a good career to get into. Good? Come and try it. I would advise anybody now that who want to come into the life insurance business, that's something you don't try. It has been around for over 200 years. You cannot come and try in life insurance. Insurance tries you. Good? It literally tries you. But to come into the career, it is a very noble career.
Okay.
Good? You sit with people, you come into the business, you'll be recruited by an insurance manager. The company does the checks and balances to make sure you're the right person to fit into the company. They give you training. You come into TIFA, they give additional training. You have to be licensed by the central bank to be fit and proper to do this business. And you also have to renew that license on an annual basis. Good? Otherwise, they would literally throw you out of the system. Yeah, so you have to be, everything has to be right. And based on that training, you come in and it's basically, I always tell my people, it's like you're a franchise holder of the company that you're employed with. Because that company has to do a certain quota every year. You literally come in to do a quota. But your quota is literally picking up the phone and calling customers or calling persons that you don't know, you meet them for the first time, and getting appointments. And that is, for some reasons, is really the trust of the matter. Once you can make 4 or 5 appointments a day, you'll be very successful in this business.
4 or 5 a day?
Yeah. Okay, and I would say 5, to really be successful. And it's the whole thing about it is seeing people at their time and where it's convenient. Because most people are very busy like yourself.
Right,
you're very, very busy. You're very, very early in the morning.
Sometimes I have to meet with my agent like 9 in the night.
Right. And there are agents that understand that, and that's why they are successful. They will meet at you at a convenient time to you, at home, at work, wherever the case may be. And that is where the 4 or 5 appointment is very iffy in terms of how you get to meet a client, because you don't want to see somebody for just 5 minutes. You're literally discussing the person's life with them and their future goals and aspirations. So you need to guarantee that time with the client, and the client has to give you that time as well. Okay. And once that has happened, you can always make sure and have a proper presentation to give them and be able to sell them insurance.
So if anyone looking on would like to get into the business, I see we have some numbers here. TIFA is located in Port of Spain.
Yes, it is.
On Edward Street. Can they reach out? Can they call?
Yes, they can reach out. What we advise people is that we have a website, because TIFA doesn't recruit people.
Right.
Good?
They can advise you.
Yeah. Right. And on that website, you could literally go into any one of our member insurance companies. You could even call the member insurance companies direct. As I mentioned, and allow me to call them again,
sure.
We have Sagicor Life Inc., we have Pan American Life, we have Guardian Life of the Caribbean, we have Tata Life, we have Maritime Financial Group. So you can contact any of these companies and let them know that you would like to join and be a part of the insurance business. Okay, it is a very noble profession, I can tell you that.
Of course, and you can visit ttaifa.com, TIFA.com for more information on TIFA. As we wrap the interview, I want to talk about your role in TIFA.
All right.
So let's talk about the Trinidad and Tobago Association of Insurance and Financial Advisors. Ooh, that's a mouthful. Talk about your role in TIFA.
All right. My role in TIFA now, after being the president for the year of 2015 to 2017, a 2-year term, I am now the immediate past president. So we have an executive board run by our president now, Mrs. Mariana Galando. And then we have our vice president, who is Miss Alicia Birch, and our secretary treasurer, Mr. Terrence William. We are also followed by a board, and the board is made up of chapter presidents. So we have an East, a South, and a North chapter, which also has their own boards. And we meet up on a monthly basis, annually 6 times for the year. We discuss where we want to go in terms of the insurance business. We discuss based on education, how many people are coming to do the courses, or we encourage them to do. We also liaise in terms of the central bank, which we are meeting with very regularly now, in terms of agents being more fit and proper, and also based on the new bill, which we are waiting to be assented to by our president of the Republic. In this new bill, the central bank has brought in what's called CPD, Career Professional Development Points. So that for an agent to renew their license, good, they are going to shift. They want to shift it now from an annual basis to every 3 years. But within that 3 years, that agent has to prove to them that they literally did some additional courses to develop themselves. Because the ombudsman of Trinidad and Tobago has been getting some complaints that some clients come in and they never knew what the policy was they signed for, which is the normal thing, although there's a signature and whatnot. So they want to make sure that agent keeps in time, and TIFA is well poised. It's something we have been doing through our Caribbean Association body to educate people and also to give them designations. And we also keep track of those points on a monthly or quarterly annual basis. So TIFA is well poised to continue that with the Central Bank of Trinidad and Tobago.
Okay, great. Well, I feel like this is just the first of many interviews. I would like to invite you back again, of course, for several other conversations. I just think that talking about insurance is important. And the more we know, the more we're empowered.
I
to
very
make
much
some
appreciate the invitation.
Very good.
All right.
Making some very good decisions. So thank you so much, Mr. Cruickshank.
Thank you very, very much, Ms. Garnish. It's
All
a
right.
pleasure me being in the program this morning.
Insurance
Good?
Awareness Month, right?
Yes, Insurance
so
Awareness Month.
The last thought you want to leave with Trinidad and Tobago.
I want to tell Trinidad and Tobago it is very, very important that you contact an agent. If you don't have one, try and call an insurance company. Try and take a look at insurance in a different light. Because if you're not here today or tomorrow, please note that is either you'll leave your family in a better off position so that your children can be better educated, your bills can be paid, and you leave a legacy. It's important that you leave a legacy in place as much as possible for your family's future. Thank you very much.
Well said. Thank you very
Thank
much
you
for
very
the
much.
interview, and I do wish you a good and productive Friday. Have a great weekend, and
Same
I'll
to
see
you.
you again very soon.
All right. Thank
Take
you.
care, and see you.